A deck mod tonight. We're going to transform these ordinary playing cards into a sort of a hybrid Cartomancy tarot deck. And so in this, I started doing this last night a little bit. These are the hearts, which represent cups. And I have a guide that I'm going off of. I'm not going to show it to you because I'll link it. I found it on a Reddit site, and I'll link it in the description after I close this thing out. And so we are trying something totally different right now, totally different, and that I'm hoping this is working. I don't know if it's working at all. I'm going to test it out here and just see if it's clear. I have I am connected into the Ethernet. I have my phone connected into the Ethernet. So it should be a more stabler connection. The only thing is the cord is kind of in my way. But we will begin with the swords. And I will just be marking on these cards as to what their sort of tarot equivalency is. And let me just go. I don't have this printed out. I have it on a shoot. I need to go faster because I'm boring you guys. You've already clicked off. This is a boring video when nothing is happening. I get that. I apologize. Where is that? What am I looking for? I'm looking for the files and for the things that I downloaded. Oh, and we're going to start there. Okay. And here we go. We're just going to start writing on these cards. And what I'm going to do is, though this wasn't in the directions, I am signifying which way is up, because reversals don't necessarily, you don't necessarily have reversals in when you do playing cards. So essentially what this is a minor arcana deck. This is a minor arcana deck. But there is a numerological, you can get, and so we're looking at the ace is transformations. So the ace of swords is an ace of swords, so it's like a transformations. That's what it means. And then so then if it's reverse, then it would be something different. And the 2 is withdrawal. So we might look at withdrawal. So that would be like a withdrawal. It would be so kind of like a hermit-like energy. But maybe we'll just add a different little layer here. And because 2s mean balance, but then the reversal of this, it would be delay. So it would be like delayed satisfaction, or a delay to a withdrawal. So there's probably a bit of a trick here on how to interpret these. But, I'm not really worried about that right now, because I'm just thinking about, I'm just going to make this thing. We're just making this thing right now. And so we're looking at 3s as connection. And then I'm going to write down on the bottom side, division. Division. I hope that the stream is clear, because and so what we got is some other words here, and a 3 of swords, so it's like miscommunication, miscommunication and misunderstandings. I hope that I'm going out on the right channel, because I have 2 channels now that I am going live on, and I hope this is the 999 show and not the Tools of Fortune. Can somebody go in there and tell me what channel this is? Is this Tools of Fortune or is this 999 show? Just pop into the the live and tell me if I selected the right channel. I don't know if I did or not. So 4 of spades, and we have stability and welcome. Okay, good. I got the right one. Good. Thank you, Julianne. Welcome. And you are on my first time that I am going live with a mobile device connected to the Ethernet with an Ethernet line. I have I picked up a Ethernet, a USB-C Ethernet adapter, and I've been, I've had this problem of going out live and having my streams collapse on me. So we have like Discord, deception, and I'm going to just turn it over this way. Resistance. But these words may mean for the whole way. I don't know. Resistance and hollow victory. And welcome, yes. Now it looks like it's on a plus and minus side, so it could be plus or minus. It could be more resistance or less resistance depending on the mood of the cards. My mother's laughing, watching a movie called Meatballs. I like this. I like that movie. It's one in my connection. 5. Oh, crap. I did the wrong one. I'm too busy here talking, and I need a different card. Oh, crap. I wonder if I could scratch these off. Is it too late? It's too late. Screwball. Well, crappo-wappo. Crappo-wappo. Hold on a second. Oh, I'll figure it out. I'll just transfer the words over. I have other decks of cards. They may not have the same back on them. That's fine. I knew this was going to happen. No, I didn't know this was going to happen, but it did happen. We'll just put stability stuck. No, It is, so we're looking at I'll just put that in here, discord, deception, and resistance, and hollow met with plus or minus or hollow victory. Yeah, I got called away for a second, and my grandniece was someone was asking my grandniece on why she wasn't swearing anymore all the time, and the grandniece said, "Oh, it was the wooden spoon treatment." So I don't know, and maybe that's not very funny, but must have spent some time at the other grandparents' house. Okay, hollow victory. Okay, now we're gonna go back over here to this one, and is it? Yeah, because that's right. Because we know that I was like thinking that's weird. Contemplation. Yeah, because you think in terms of the Four of Swords, like you're contemplating, and you got that guy sitting down there, contemplation, and contemplation, and resonation. Well, I can just run these other words over here. Contemplation. And rest, maybe we'll put over here. It is stability and stuck. Maybe we'll put rest and resonation. How do we spell that word? Resonation. Resonation. Okay. All right. So that I have to watch out for that. Now, the whole now I'm up to 6 of getting ahead of myself. And so, how are you doing, Julianne? If you're still there. White ink. I don't have anything that can paint. Oh, I know how to take care of that. Sandpaper. Sandpaper is how you take care of stuff like that. Okay, we're at 6. 6 is harmony and contentment. That's just the number 6 in general. The number 6. That's kind of what it means in the numerological sense. Contempt, not contempt, content, TENT. So, are you doing anything special for the 4th of July tomorrow? Oh, okay. Yeah, I get that. Travel. That's the 6 of Swords. So, it's travel, a new direction. I could see how this exercise could help you to really memorize your cards if you were like me and you haven't memorized your cards very well. New direction, letting go of past, letting go of past troubles. Letting go of past troubles. Okay. And harmony and contentment, and this was the upward side there. 7. So this actually will go pretty fast. I started doing it last night, but I got bored, and so I thought, oh, I think I'll just do this as a live stream instead. It was on. I was gonna do that mystery, the paper mache, but this was on the table already, and I just didn't want to take it off the table. Mystery or superficial, I don't get that, but I'll just gonna go with it. Just gonna roll with it. Gonna roll with it. Superficial. Okay. We're just gonna roll with it. I need to watch a movie of some kind. What I am gonna do tomorrow is, since I'm not gonna go anywhere at all for the 4th of July, I was gonna go to a we're just gonna write that down on the side because I have room for it. Mental preparedness. Mental preparedness. And then theft. And the other word is subterfuge. What the hell is subterfuge? I know what it means, but and so if this works, if this system thing works, then what I have is I can do, because I have a blank, I have some blanks. Playing card blanks. I think I need to get some other ones, some other that have backs on them. Playing card blanks, and then I can make my own minor arcana deck with a pip deck. And because I was like this thinking about, well, do you go with if you're doing a minor arcana deck, do you follow the right RWS, or do you follow the Tarot de Marseille? I don't know. I mean, that's a question that I'm posing out there for somebody. If you've made it this far, listening to it or listening to it on the playback, what would you do? Would you make the would you make it a Marseille, or go by the Marseille, or would you go by the Rider Waite system of interpretation? I don't know. I just don't know about that. I've been thinking about some new shows that I'd like to have. I want to make sure this is number 8. Yes, 8. So movement. So this is kind of it's not the numerology, it's the stagnation. And like I said, I will link the Reddit post in the description after I upload this video, where I got this information from, and where I got it from. And we're looking at trapped, powerlessness, and the obvious answer. So I think I'm going to run trapped right in the middle here. Trapped. Powerlessness. Yeah, you can see that with the 8 swords. And I could see how how I can see how dividing with this deck might, it'll cause you to obvious, obvious answer. I wonder what that means. I can see that in divining with such a tool, that it will help you with your visualization skills. I think I want to do number 9, which means growth. I can see that growth. I'm just going to put that on the top. It looks like it's growth both ways. So if it's in a upside down or right side up, because the number 9 means that. That it would help you with visualization. Anxiety, nightmares, receptive thought, depression, worry. So, repetitive thought. Repetitive thought. I'm thinking what we're going to do here is I'm going to run this in the middle of repetitive, R-E-P-E-T-I-T-I-V-E, repetitive thought. And then on the sides, I'm going to run nightmares, or anxiety, 9 of swords, 9 of spades, depression, now you can't read that, but I can kind of, worry. So those mean kind of the same thing. And repetitive thought. Okay, there's the mark there. And go up to 10. Maybe 10 this way, like that. And we are looking at completions. Completion. Completion. Endings. I've been kind of wanting a minor arcana deck, but because after Tarot Ask Backwards gifted this deck to me for my birthday, it's funny, I wanted the other one, but nevertheless, this was on the list for a short time before I changed that list out. But this here is I'm using it like a major arcana oracle. Some of the cards are kind of like nudie cards, but they're really just beautiful. They're huge, and it has like this activeness of it. This is that Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. Oh, there's the nudie. I better make sure you don't get the nudie pictures there. It's really nice, and so, oh, and that's another nudie picture. Hide your eyes, and there's the High Priestess and the Magician, and that's like really a badass death card too. Kind of reminds me of like going to a metal show or something like that, like Slayer. Yeah, go see Slayer in concert like that. Kind of, sort of, yes, no. That's pretty cool. You got the priest and people shielding, but they come on anyway, chopping you up. But then here in the background, you got the two towers from the moon and the sunrise in the background. So, yeah. And then the lovers, Hierophant, the chariot, and Temperance, which is kind of one of my the state of being that I need to adopt. Temperance, the Fool, and that Hanged Man, and your Sun card, and then the old Hermit, for that Hermit energy. And so, anyways, that's that. So it's like because ever since I got this, I was thinking, gosh, they got just a plain major arcana deck, but why not a minor arcana? And then that's really how I have arrived at this point, and how I've arrived here. And we're looking at so we have Bright Side, New Beginnings, and I'm going to run this other big long word here of victimization. V-I-C-T, V-I-C-T, I am I-Z-A-T-I-O-N, victimization and martyrdom. Martyrdom, martyrdom? Is that what it is? Martyrdom? No, not martyrdom. Well, that's what I wrote. Martyrdom. Martyrdom. Giving up. Sorrow. I wonder how Josh Sorrow is doing. All right, then we go over to the Jack. The Jacko. Do I have the Jack handy? Jack handy. And for the Jack, thinking. So we're going to have because it's a Jack, Jacks are all about thinking. Put your thinking jacks on. Thinking. So we have the words rebel. And I'm going to put in parentheses against you. Against you. Fighting for a cause. fight for a cause, and fight for a cause, intellectual, why does the print have to be so small? Or political. Interesting. Well, we are almost done with this. I think probably I'll just, what am I on here, for 30 minutes? I'll probably just do one more suit, and then I'm going to call it. I'll do the diamonds, which mean pentacles. We got queen. And the queen, and it's also, because swords is about thinking. So the key word in this is all about thinking. It's sharp intellect. Sharp intellect. Ruthless. And so the act of harmful. So the act of putting these words down and putting on there, it kind of adds that energy into the card for the reading. I wonder when I'll try to read with them. Again, King of Swords, about thinking. Thinking persons. Thinking. Introspective. Introspective. Ethical. Introspective, ethical. I know that Tarot asked backward had asked about if I knew how to read with a playing card deck. He asked me that about a month ago, maybe, I think. Communicator. I just think of like the Scotty, beam me up. Beam me up, Scotty. Beam me up, Stock. Beam me up, Scotty. Yeah. This is my communicator. Stern obstacle. So stern and obstacle. All right. Look, we got one done. Got a whole nother sort done. With that -1 mistake. Okay. I think probably I'll just go and take the court cards out. Do this other court cards here. And because we're looking at it's red, I can write that in there. We know the upright is there. Material health. So it's all about material health. And health. So the pentacles are material and health issues. Mental health. Reliable. reliable, hardworking, hardworking, I'm going to put this down here, youthful, youthful, quiet, quiet, and hidden depths. Hidden depths. So you'll be able to use this as a guide should you wish to do this yourself. I should probably just go through the whole thing because I have these two sorts left, and then we're done. And we should be done in an hour. Yeah. I just need to go move a little faster, right? Yeah, that's right. And we're looking at material health. Material or health, whatever that means. Physical health or mental health or pertaining to the body. Maybe that's what we're looking at. Instead of health, it's more like health or body. Body. Okay. You can see that that's a Y. Body. Now you can't see it's a Y. No. Of course not, because my handwriting sucks. Body. Body, body, body. Body, 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 body. What's that like that movie? Macho, macho man. Who's gonna be a macho man? Macho, macho man. And it's body, 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 body. Body, 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 body. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think it's something like that. I used to sing that song with karaoke. It was always fun. It was a fun karaoke song. Practical. Practical. Warm. Oh, and then depending on what it is, it could be, then we have toxic over this way. It could be toxic health. And then dependable. Depend. That's supposed to be a D, not a P. Depend. A-B-L-E. Dependable. Dependable motherhood. Dependable motherhood. Okay. Yeah, all right, all right. Let's put it over here. And we're doing, this is also material and body and health. You know, I'm not going to do this again unless it's like making my own deck all the way, which I probably will do if I think this is something worth pursuing, if it's worth pursuing, reading, playing cards. introspective, introspective. I'm glad that I caught it already because this was for the other suit. So it's self-made. 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 Is that right? Yeah, because I'm in the wrong column. Of course you're in the wrong column. You're in the wrong line, Billy boy. Wrong line. Wrong line. Outsized power of wealth. Outsized power of wealth. Jolly. Jolly. And enjoying success. Enjoying success. Enjoying success and encouraging. Encouraging. Okay. All right. Now, I think while we're here, we'll do the other 3 court cards too, so I don't have to flip back to the screen. Hi. Welcome. 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 I was thinking about you. Thinking about when I was watering the garden this afternoon. I'm thinking how it'd be good to have because since I'm a new reader, maybe it would have nice to have a conversation about new readers and what new readers should new public readers should expect. That was what I was thinking. New public readers. I'm modifying a deck of playing cards. That's what I'm doing. For a minor arcana deck. And we are at the Wands action. So this is all about action and we want to probably put in here passion. Action, passion. So yeah. I was gonna go on last night on Tools of Fortune, but I had a bad I had a 3-day migraine this week, I guess, and one day where I didn't have it, but it's what it is. I think that as a card reader, I think I'm way too new to power through a migraine. Way too new to power through a migraine. That's kind of the feeling that I was having. I was gonna go live last night, but I just anyways, I just started doing it. Yeah, I know, but what I was thinking in terms of that it might make a good show, because there's probably a lot of people out there that might that are thinking about becoming a public reader and would like to know just the kinds of things to expect. I know that don't ever power through migraines. I used to power through migraines because when I was working at the casino, and when I started going on the floor as a server, I had migraines every day of the week for 6 months. And then it dropped down to a relief of like 5 migraines a week. Or I was having migraine pain every single day for 6 months. And then it was a little bit less, and then it got a little less, and I dropped, went into another shift, like a late swing shift. Well, actually, it would be like when I started bar backing, then I would start at 4 in the afternoon and be done at 2 in the morning, often 4 to 2. Yeah, yeah. I got that checked out from a neurologist, and I think in like 2017. Yeah, I think that's what it was, 2017 or 2018. And then I got prescribed some drugs, and then since then, but it's been, yeah. What was I doing? We're at the Action Jackson. The Action Jackson. Yeah. Yeah, so now they're not so bad, but Action Jackson. I like that. Action Jackson. That just kind of that rhymes, doesn't it? It's the Action Jackson. And I'm going to run it as, how am I going to do this? I got 4 phrases here. I think I'll go with unreliable was the first word. I can't, there we go. I gotta make it bigger. I can't see it. Unreliable. And looking a risked, hot-headed. And Action Jackson. I like hot-headed, hidden. And let's see. I'll just go around the card, because it's basically, it is a. It's not a. It's not a card reversal. There aren't really card reversals. It's just hidden intentions. Intentions. Yeah, yeah, that is a that's a good name, yeah. And the queen is, we're also, the main suit keyword is action. Action. And I got like little tomato plants. Hot-headed Jackson. Yeah, couldn't it? It's got the Action Jackson and the hot-headed Jackson. Yeah, action, passion. I'm just gonna put that in there because action and passion. And I'm just gonna put this over here. Before I make a mistake like I did before, I got to make sure I got the right, which I almost did. I almost went back. Did I do that one right? I did. Okay. Energetic. can't even read it. So effing small. Yeah. So like so you did that too. So we were kind of thinking along the same things then. I'm gonna link in my I'm gonna put a link in the description with it. This is done. The Reddit post that I got this chart from, and I didn't do it in advance because this is a pop-up live. Energetic. I'm gonna put this other word, untidy. But yeah, I was just kind of feeling like I disorganized. And we have I got the untidy, disorganized, and then we're going another word, which is I don't have enough room for it in here because I can't write small. Jealousy. And then we have career-minded. Well, I've been doing. Yeah, I know. I have some blank ones too. And I wanted to do this first to work with them to see if it's even worth it before I take those blank cards and turn them into something. And then it's like, so you're creating shorts for your channel. Yeah, I sometimes feel like shorts are a waste of time. I mean, I grew this channel in its first year doing nothing but shorts, but I was doing different kinds of shorts. I would, so it was like a total but that was like when I had, it was after I had COVID, and I lost my voice I couldn't talk for more than 2 minutes without it like um getting all phlegmed up or something like that. And so I was like, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know about that. I think that it does for certain types of content. It's just that people who consume short form content tend to want things that are quick and entertaining. And if you are and if you go in and do, yeah, I lost my voice for like almost 6 months. Whereas like before COVID, I could talk, I could do I would I could talk for a long time without a break, and then the COVID, and then so I was, but I still kept pumping content out, and so I went back in and made a little shift in my content, and I had a bunch of pre-recorded, studio recorded poetry, and so I started doing, I started using that pre-recorded, some of it, not all of it, and I was making some visual poems, and that took me through April. And then in May, I started doing comedy shorts and stuff like that. Yeah, okay. That's the thing is that's why I think that short form comedy, that short form content might be a waste of time. Action, passion. And where you might be you might be better suited to go the Alexis Milner route and try to grow your channel through live streams. And this is the time, to do the lives anyway, because summertime you can, granted, lots of people are going outdoors and stuff like that, but just look at Alexis Milner. Yeah, the vertical ones. And actually, you do the vertical ones because you because this is because you're catering. You want to cater for 60% of the users. You're not catering to what looks good. You're the what looks good is that the horizontal lives look great. They look great on a TV screen. They look great on a computer screen. But the minority of users are using their computers, and the majority of the people are watching their content on phones and on tablets, and that's the thing of it. And so phones and tablets, and that's where it's at. That's why I doing and I'm just using like that go live together feature when it's like two. So if you're having guests here, I think this is the rule of thumb that might be the best, is if you have one guest on, just use the proprietary software that comes with YouTube for your mobile device. If it's two or more guests, then you use streaming software. Yeah, I know. I like the horizontal too. I like the horizontal too. I like it because it looks better. You can see things better, but the other way, it forces you to be more creative. That's the thing of it. And is it raining outside? It was like a big, huge, giant deer just like piss on the side of the house. Is that what happened? Yeah. Yeah. I've been hearing like sounds that sound like that's an odd sound outside. Maybe it's the aliens are coming. I can never I don't know how to pronounce this word. It's got too many syllables in it. It's kind of what I am. I mean, this is my spirit. I have this spirit, if you can read my handwriting, because it's something that I was born into that. Tell them to come pick me up too. Yeah, yeah. Creative, forceful, charismatic, protective. I never really think of myself as being charismatic. I'm probably not very charismatic. Protective. If I think that I would be able to do better on this channel if I were. Did I do these ones? No, I didn't. If I were younger and better looking, more easier. What? I think outside the box. Yeah, there's that. I do think outside the box. That's because I am on, what is it? I'm on the autistic spectrum. Yeah, it's the audio processing disorder. The audio processing disorder that I have, and where essentially like I was like nonverbal till I was like 3, I think I was. And it took a long time to learn how to uh, read, talk, read, and write. I didn't really learn how to read until like the 4th grade, and then the whole phonics method didn't work for me, but ACE, New Beginnings. Oh, those are fireworks. Fireworks. Somebody's lighting off fireworks. That's what that noise is. Don't they know that the ground is like tinder dry here? They just risk a wildfire. Pinnacles, material health. So we're looking at new beginnings. Still, it's always new beginnings. New beginnings. Yeah, that's me because you had a rough trial. Yeah, so you get it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that probably lots of folks who end up in creative passions have had, of one fashion or another, have had some rough times. And you're doing the caregiving, you don't leave. And sometimes I just don't want to go anywhere. Mother wasn't feeling up to going to the barbecue tomorrow at the church. It would have been nice to go and see that, but you got some things going on, and yeah, well, I get it. So we'll just have a nice, great, too many wildfires for fireworks. Yeah, yeah. And I'm at, well, it looks like we're looking at the words material, and then for material items, that doesn't make sense, but we'll just put it there, and I'll just run it on down the side here. Job, and we'll just go do it this way. Job and victory. Actually, seeing these keywords kind of makes you, and there's somebody else's keywords too. Yeah, yeah, and then it's like the sense of kind of almost feeling afraid to go someplace, and or I kind of miss the long walks I used to take, but there's there's the folks on the corner that raise the hunting dogs, and sometimes the hunting dogs get loose, and they're kind of really vicious, and so it kind of makes me not want to walk down to the highway and go on like walking adventures. I miss, and then then going up in the woods. There's lots of woods to go up into, like Lucky Stone 888, who does all those nice little shorts that every day, walking in the woods and with a nice message of encouragement and so forth. But see, all the woods in my area, right? all the woods in my area are full of cougars. And in 2014, I used to go prior to I think 2014. I used to go mountain biking on these logging roads. So there's like miles and miles of logging roads just right out my back door practically. And then this one time I was going out mountain biking on and those there's like a 2 or 3 mile loop that to go on, and one can go up even farther. And so when Milo was still alive, we would go walking up there and go up to the top of the ridge. And then then it would sometimes you'd be up there and it'd go silent. And it was just silence and nothing. Nothing could be heard except yourself with your feet and snapping on the sticks or whatever that was on the roads. And it was that time that I realized. Now, afterwards, I realized that I was being watched or stalked or hunted by a cougar. And then like it was in 2014. Yeah, in 2014, I was mountain biking on those roads, and I went on one of them up one way, and then I came back the same road, and then there was at like 5 o'clock in the evening, there was a cougar sunning itself right on the road, and it was just huge. It was just huge animal. I mean, it was a huge animal, and I estimated that it was probably like you might not have been a full-grown one, but it was my dog Milo was probably 75 pounds, and I'm guessing that this cougar was probably 100 pounds. And what I remember was the tail, and that tail was so long. And then I slammed on the brakes. It jumped up, and it was like bang, 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 and it was gone. And it just split, and it just went up a ridge. It went through the brush. You just heard it just bang, 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 and then and it was like wow. And then I couldn't bring myself to go back, and it was like I was like this whole all these wonderful walks and times that I've had up in those mountains. I'm thinking, and yeah, everyone else who goes up there, they go up there with a gun, I don't have a gun that's the right caliber or anything that could take care of a cougar. But then you'd have to go and, I mean, a 22 varmint rifle is not enough to. It's not good. It's not a. It's not something you can do. So, and I refuse to go and. I refuse to spend money on those kinds of things. I don't. I really don't want to have that in my life. Delays, but going out and getting like a park. Yeah. Yeah, I know. The nearest park. I think it's 7 miles away from. Actually, there's a park that's closer. I could go to that park. I'll just pack Mom up in the car. We could go and have a nice hill to walk up. Where am I at? I'm on the 2 diamonds. Budget, time, resources. So it's about, we're looking at money. BUDJET. Budget, time, and resources. Yeah. Yeah. But if you live in the rural areas, it's almost a necessity to have a firearm. You know, I inherited some. Actually, that was one. The one I inherited was the one that my dad gave me when I was 15. But it was he used it as a hunting rifle. It was a very very good hunting rifle. I just couldn't. I couldn't. I took the life of a deer once, and I couldn't get over it. It was a really a traumatic experience, and and so it was, it was very very difficult, and so that was like kind of ended hunting for me, and it was very disappointing to my dad because he wanted a son that would do those kinds of things, and I wasn't that kind of a son that did those kinds of things. After that, it was like, it wasn't, I mean, I like the taste of venison. I mean, I kind of prefer it. I venison, but I just being a but just taking that life, that was not well. I guess it's not supposed to be easy. Yeah. Yeah, and so it's not supposed to, what actually, what in reality, hunting is not supposed to be easy. Or taking a life is not supposed to be easy. And so it's, um I guess that's why peoples in the past, more indigenous peoples, had rituals. You had rituals improving skills. I got one too many I's in here. Improving, P-R-O-V, improving skills and teamwork. I think that if I were to do this again, Lila, I would not think in terms of having upright and reverse cards, but you would just have you would write your keywords down on your card, put the suit in there, leave room to put more keywords down, because you might want to like do a crossover between different systems, and then maybe like have your numerological values in it, and then mark which side is upright, and so if it lands the other way around, then you maybe that's like blocked energy or delayed. It's delayed or blocked. I think that's the best way to do this. But the last time I shot a firearm, I think I was 21 years old. Yeah, that was the last time, about 21. And it used to be, I'm like just like a totally different person now than I was then. Stability stuck. It's like, you like to create and expand Kipper decks. Yeah, yeah. I haven't really read with the. I have a Lemornard, blah blah blah. I can't pronounce that. Say the word now. But of one of the original ones, but I don't know if I'll ever use it. I think it's there in my collection, but I don't know if I'll ever use it. I probably never will use it. There it is, more fireworks. It's like a Roman candle. It just sounds like it's right out the back of my house, but I know it's not. I know it's that direction, two doors down. What are we looking at? Trust, secrets. I'm just going to write it all up, right? Trust, secrets, close relationship. Can't read that. Guarding resources. Well, for you, since you have all those, you have all the name, everything memorized, you could just look at the card, and then you see it, oh, 4 swords, and you just sort of, you sort of 4 pentacles, and you just sort of visualize that that little guy standing there, and holding on to his pinnacles. But the figure isn't there, so it's just on a conceptual basis. Or there are 2 little guys that are walking in front of the church, and one has a crutch and whatnot, and the church where there is blessings and so forth. 5, disturbance. There's a disturbance in the force. And then we'll just go over here to overcoming. Overcoming. Hoarding, yeah. Loss and needing help. Well, it almost would seem 2, because it's 5. That's a challenge number. Well, maybe not. Maybe I forget that with tarot numerology, it's a little bit different. So I'm not gonna go looking into there. And so 6 of Pentacles. We have charity. Oh yeah, these are these. No, yeah, I'm thinking cups, pentacles, trust, charity, giving, and receiving. And inequality. God, I hope those people don't start a fire. Well, they're all kind of young. They're just young, and they're not necessarily thinking straight. Oh, they're down at the creek. Maybe that's where they're at. But still, is everything's bone dry down there? That's just what we need, is a fast-moving wildfire. We never get away. We never get away. And then the neighbors have their little forest there would just that would doom all the houses on this row. Mystery or superficial. Yeah. Yeah, I've tried looking at those books on like Audible and things like that, is that it's like, here's what my biggest beef with those books is when they start going through these things card by card, it's mine. I can't handle it. It's mine. My brain just starts to shut down when they start going through each card over and over and over again, because it's like the audio format is not a way to take in a guidebook, and so that's the trouble I have listening to that kind of stuff. Now, for tarot books, this is yeah, and so this book here, I haven't read the whole thing, but I like how I like it because they assume this is a heavy academic book. Yeah, it's stories. Yeah, stories. I have one that's stories. I put it down there, and this one is. I like this book because it doesn't go. It goes in. It's just a straight up academic book, and it's way easier to read. And if it was in an audio format, it would be way easier to go through, because it's not. It assumes you already. It assumes you know what everything is. You know what the cards are, what they mean, and so this goes back into the past, has past knowledge, and it's to me, I like it because it is a straight up academic book, and I like how it's formatted and everything. I have another book that's similar to that one, with a similar formatting, or it's not mind-numbingly boring. Oh, so yeah. This one is also really good, and it's not like mind-numbingly boring either. It kind of goes through. It's less because it's just on the court cards, so it kind of goes through them a little bit. Yeah, but that's that. Yeah, it's kind of funny how that is. You have you get these things, and you can't go through some of these books, but a book like this, which is really heavy, is actually super easy to go through. But a easy to read guidebook, to me, is not. They're not easy to go through. They're really difficult. And so the way that, yeah. I don't know, Lila. I got so many Audible books that I think I would save your money. That's my thoughts on it. I have a lot of Audible books, and the ones I like are the ones I like, and they are I do have one. I have a couple tarot ones. This one here, The Castle Across Destinies, is a good one. And I think I don't remember if I bought this one. It might be a sample. But if I look at the Basketball Diaries, I love Ann Tyler novels. And this is the Patchwork Planet. And there's also, I think, The Accidental Tourist, and Saint Maybe. Saint Maybe is in. I have, I think, 3 Ann Tyler books. Oh, tarot life lessons. Yeah, and then we have what? Then this one I've read quite a few times and listened to, the Miseducation of Cameron Post. I like that story a lot. And then I have some books that are heavy. This one on Hermeticism is pretty heavy. Uh, and so forth. There's a lot of them now. The ones that I found to be mind-numbingly boring was this one, Tarot, No Question Asked by Teresa Reed. That one I thought was boring, and but this is the. I guess when I'm listening to a book, I mean, I got some other mind-numbingly boring books like these ones on tax accounting and stuff like that. And oh, okay, all right, I can do that. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, and then, because if it goes to like that halfway to Halloween thing, which I'm still in the process of getting there, I just haven't got there yet. It's these books by Janine Duprat, The City of Ember, and the whole series of those ones are like some of my. They remind me of Halloween, and they're like young adult books, but the story is just fantastic. And then, there's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I got a lot of science fiction in here and some political. And then there's this one is a real surprising one, Canoeing with the Cree, and it's based on I think a true story from like something like the 1940s or something about some kids that they graduated from high school and they canoed from Minnesota to the Atlantic, to the Hudson Bay, from Minnesota up into the Great Lakes and across into the uh, uh, you know what I'm saying, Hudson Bay, and they did it. And then yeah, so yeah, I got a lot of books that I don't really listen to anymore, but I've listened to most of them, and including Walden Pond, which because Thoreau was one of my favorite thinkers. The Canoeing with the Cree one is an excellent adventure story. Excellent adventure story. And it was because it was written by some journalists, people who I don't think they're I think they passed on by now because they were like 18 in 1940, or like this they did this thing like in the during the Depression or something, or let's say, let me just look that up, Canoeing with Cree, and see, how do you spell canoe? C-O-N, canoeing. It's not spelled right. I don't know how to spell with the Cree. Let's see if it'll just even get me close. And that was the Cree Indians. Here we go. Canoeing with the Cree. And okay, the book is 1935. It's published in by this journalist named Eric Severide or something like that. And so they great book. I recommend this book to anybody especially if you get it in the audio to listen to it. And yeah, it's just a good story. It's like almost like a short story, but you can. And yeah, it spent 4 months. They went on these two high school boys, or two boys that just graduated from high school, and between right in the summer, 4 months, they missed their first term of. Yeah, add that one. I really like this story. I like good adventure stories like that, especially ones that are true. And the narrator is really good. I like the sound of the narrator's voice. I like I like voices. I like listening to people's voices. And yeah, I'm going to finish this up, and then I'm going to shut this live off and get ready to do my next live. Yeah. And yeah, so let's get that picture back here if I can get it. We are over here. And then and like I said, we're at 7. That's just 3 more and we're done. This doing this much but having, somebody to chat with while I'm doing it has made all the difference in the world. I was like picking cherries this afternoon, trying to pick them away from the birds. And so I guess tomorrow I got to make a pie. But I'm making, I don't know. Yeah. Make a pie. A pie without the crust. We'll put on the word dissatisfaction. Well, yeah. So what kind of lives are you thinking about doing? Seeking direction, and then we'll put this word in the middle. Spiritual emptiness. What was your question? Well, cool pie. Okay. No, let me get to your question. I'm sorry. I actually wasn't even looking at the screen. No, I don't think so. That's not the right. Don't use that. I have another email address that my Amazon account is attached to, and I'll send you that link. Okay. So I wasn't ignoring you. So yeah. No, I gotta think because I actually gotta go look into the account to see what email address is attached to it. I think it's the one that gets all the updates and so forth. Okay, so you haven't really done what kind of light, you don't know yet. So okay, that's fine. And it's movement and stagnation. Almost done, and then I'm gonna and we're looking at learning and teaching. Learning, teaching. Making sure I get the right one and not do it wrong like I did that one. New job, career. And then focus. Right here in the middle. Focus. You want to do them like Amanda? Yeah. Then do them like Amanda then. And just look how Amanda and Amanda grew really fast too. And I mean, like really fast. I've never seen anything like that before. Except then I've seen it like with Alexis Milner. She's been moving fast too. Fast too. And self-reliance. Am I in the right one? Self-reliance. Increasing wealth. And independence. Yeah, you might be able to make more money too that way. Yes, Amanda, and Alexis. Yeah, yeah. I'm kind of. What I'd like to do is go live on Tools of Fortune like 5 hours a day, like in a I think a 5 hour block of time. 10, and so we have completion. And endings. If I look at what I did the other night, I probably would get, on a 2 hour live, I got 400 views. And a 5 hour live would probably net me like 1,500 views. Yeah, I know you can't. All right, good night. I will. I'm kind of ending it right here anyway, because I'm not gonna do the last suit. I'll do it later, some other day. And this is traditions. Thanks for hanging out with me, Lila. I really appreciated your presence. Doing like a boring task like this is easier when you can share it with other people. And then we'll put that word inheritance right in here. Inheritance. Okay. Well, this is all I'm going to do for tonight. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, it was fun chatting. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed myself when I had a good chat here, and I can tell some stories and do stuff like that, and I can exercise my brain for people used to when I was just learning bartending and all that. A lot of people like that I had so many stories to tell. And what I don't understand about this is that they all the directions have like a fool card, and I just don't understand why you need, in a minor arcana deck, why you need a fool card. I don't get it at all. Anyways, no one has been able to adequately explain that to me. But that's what I got. And that's it. It's not quite done, but it'll be done soon enough. And we'll thank everybody for hanging out and watching along. And I'm gonna post in the description a link to the chart that I found on Reddit for how to for doing this deck mod. All right. Thank you very much, and we'll see you all y'all the next time. Bye-bye.